A major personal win for President Trump and his companies. A New York appeals court has thrown out a $500 million civil judgment against him, and the president calling it a total victory. The New York State Attorney General says that they will appeal the ruling. NBC's Monica Alba, new details from Washington.
President Trump on social media declaring total victory after a New York appeals court threw out a $500 million civil fraud penalty against him and his companies. The president and his allies celebrating.
They really overplayed their hand on this because they thought they could take Donald Trump out. They didn't.
But it's not quite that simple.
It's a win and a loss. I mean, in the sense that he's still technically liable, but the penalty has now been erased.
The 323-page opinion contains 3 separate rulings from the court's 5 judges and reveals they were deeply divided, with 2 judges in favor of upholding the fraud judgment but dismissing the financial penalty, 2 in favor of ordering a new trial, and 1 in favor of dismissing the case altogether.
Certainly it is a benefit to the Trump organization not have to pay $500 million in a fine. What's important here is that the court upheld the finding that the Trump organization engaged in massive fraud.
So still liable for fraud, just doesn't have to pay for it.
A New York judge imposed the $500 million fine early last year after a month-long trial. The court ruling the president and his companies engaged in, quote, repeated and persistent fraud. The state accusing Trump and his companies of lying to banks and insurance companies about the value of his properties in order to profit off sweetheart deals on loans and insurance policies. Trump repeatedly slammed the case at the time, calling it politically motivated. While the Trump organization is now off the hook for the $500 million judgment, the civil fraud judgment against the president, 2 of his sons, and the Trump organization stands. In a statement, New York Attorney General Letitia James says that they will appeal today's ruling, adding yet another court has ruled that the president violated the law and arguing that their case has merit. Monica Alba, NBC News, Washington.